Hello and welcome to the Punters Preview this week on punters.com.au. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly. A massive weekend of racing, 6 Group 1s across Australia, and here to preview 7 races because you know what? We're just being kind here at Punters this week. We thought we'd throw another race in. I'm joined, as always, by Katelyn McDonald. Hello, Katie.
Hi, Alex. Yes, good to be back. What a day we have in store, both in Sydney and in Melbourne.
And for you, it's a weekend to reflect on as well because we'll get into it. But this is also a Group 1 race this weekend that you had some success in the past.
Yes, it's one of my favourite Group 1s. Of course, the William Reid was my Group 1 win on Silent Sedition a few years back now. So, yeah, no, it's always a great race, it's the sprint at Moonee Valley. And, of course, it used to be on the Friday night, but now it has its own day, which is I like it. And it's a great card too in support of it.
Yeah, 11 races going on there, and I'll just go a bit of me time as well here. It's the same weekend as my dad's only Group 1 winner as a trainer, the George Rider.
There you go.
it's just meant to be. But we'll start off at the Valley, and as a note, we're recording this on Thursday morning, and it's about to rain cats and dogs here in Melbourne. Up to 25 mils. Track is a soft 5, but the radar looks clear for Friday and Saturday. So hopefully the track dries out a little bit and the team's got it all good there. But the 2 races we're going to start off in at Moonee Valley, the first of which is at race number 8, is the Sunline Stakes. It's for the fillies and mares over 1,600 metres. There's a couple of very nice horses in here who may be headed to Adelaide or even Sydney, Katie.
Yeah, there is. There's a couple of dual acceptors over the weekend, so it is a bit tough when you're trying to do your form. But I landed on Road to Arataki in the Sunline Stakes. I really like this mare. I just think she's building up to another win. Loved her win at Flemington in the Trecity, and then she wasn't too far away from them in the Matron Stakes. I just think at Moonee Valley, she's drawn well. She's going to get that nice run on speed, which she likes. I think there's one other horse that could really contest her for the lead and might bring her unstuck is Grazinga Bell, who likes to roll forward as well. So if Road to Arataki can just get a couple of nice sectionals before getting attacked, I think that'll be the best way that she can win this race, because it might set it up for a horse like Quintessa, the top weight, if they do go a little bit quick in front. So, look, I think Road to Arataki, 4th up, nice and fit, and she's absolutely flying.
I like it. A very nice informed mare there. We go to race number 9. Of course, it is the William Reid Stakes, the Group 1 there. Jimmy Star is your short price favourite, and given his win in the Oakley Plate, it looks as if as long as he gets some luck, he's going to get the job done again.
Yeah, look, he's nippy. He seems to get himself out of trouble. The only thing is, I do feel like on this speed map, he's going to find a little bit of trouble and he's going to have to be pretty good to get himself out of it, which no doubt he is. But I've gone the way of Benedetta here. I really love this mare. Just think 3rd up, sense of timing for mine. She's drawn barrier 6, which I think gives her some options. Daniel Stackhouse is obviously going to be mindful that Jimmy Star is sort of going to be back in the ruck, and he'll be mindful of that. So, yeah, I just think she's going to be in that sweet spot and be able to come out 3 wide if she has to, just to give herself some clear air. So, yeah, I think she's going to be really hard to beat in such an open race.
Yeah, she had no luck whatsoever in the barrier draw in the Newmarket, and her Group 1 win, she did come steaming down the outside, so I don't mind that. But let's get to Sydney, your part of the world, Rosehill Gardens, Golden Slipper Day. I think it's my second favourite meeting anywhere in Australia throughout the year, Doncaster Day being number 1. But we're on a good 4 surface, railing the 3 metre, and Katie, you were on track last week. It was a little bit concerning that the jockeys were like, we don't want to be near the fence.
Yeah, I don't know why, because the track was really firm. So it didn't seem like it was more wet. Maybe around the corner, I didn't quite make it up there earlier in the morning. But look, they did seem like that it was pretty fast going out there. So there is a little bit of a crown in the track where it does seem like they do like to come down the middle there no matter what. So yeah, it was fascinating seeing how the track played last week. Hopefully it plays nice and even for Saturday, because, of course, it is their big day. It's the biggest day in racing. 5 Group 1s on the program, and we kick it off with the Ranvet Stakes. And how are they going to beat Via Sistina? What do you think?
She may have to come out of the barriers backwards and then trip over at the turn.
I know, it seems pretty straightforward, doesn't it? I think she's going to be super hard to beat if there's anything that can beat her. And I think if Tyler Schiller on Faulkner Park can try and find her back is the best way that he's probably going to be able to beat her coming off her back, follow her wherever she carries, because I think Faulkner Park is absolutely flying.
Yeah, he was outstanding first up. And, of course, the winner last time he did hit the 2,000 metres and has proven himself at weight for age. Do you know anything about Full Count Felicia other than it's an American who won on firm ground over 2,000 last preparation? And like last year, arrives here, Yule Long, Chris Waller, first up in the Ranvet. That was via Sistina last year.
Yeah, that's right. Look, she's a quality mare. She's a Group 1 winner over in America. She seems the type that sort of jumps and runs like most American mares. They seem to run out in front like that. She enjoys that. So, look, I don't think she'll go out as hard as what she did. I think it was back in the EP Taylor Stakes where she seemed to have about a furlong, a bit like Pride of Jenny, on them, and then she kept on running. But I'd say from barrier 3, they'll ride her just wherever she's comfortable. And I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do.
Very interesting race there. Of course, we get to another interesting race, which is another 2,000 metre Group 1. It is the Rosehill Guineas. Broadsiding steps up to 2,000 metres again. Last time he ran over 2,000, he was good, but he happened to be beaten 10 lengths by Via Sistina. You've got Gold Rush Guru, the Derby winner, Swift Falcon, who was good the other day, and a couple of other nice horses on the way through, including the Kiwi Checkmate. He's sticking with broadsiding, Katie.
No, I'm not going to stick with broadsiding only because he's drawn that awkward barrier over the 2,000 metres. He's just going to need a lot of luck. I've actually gone with Swift Falcon because he's drawn better with no great deal of confidence, because he's another one that really needs to show that he can run out a strong 2,000 metres, but he's a quality horse. He's been running really well. The Randwick Guineas was won by linebacker who, tactically was just ridden to perfection.
Yes.
And I think that they probably won't go so hard in this race. So Tyler's going to be able to ride him wherever he's comfortable. And he just looks like he's going to get that nice, soft, economical run. Checkmate's going to be obviously really hard to beat, and big respect for the Kiwis when they bring them over here to the Autumn Carnival. And I'm looking forward to also seeing the Derby winner Gold Rush Guru up here in Sydney too. So he's 4th up. He'll be ready for a big run.
Yeah, I think they may have learned a trick with Swift Falcon last prep where they missed out in the gloaming the spring champion by settling in another postcode from barrier 4. I agree. I think he gets a better run on the map than broadsiding, but another brilliant race. Speaking of that, the George Ryder Stakes, 1,500 metres. All-Star Mile winner Tom Kitten there. Of course, Fangirl's there. Steffi Magnetica turns up. Royal Patronage, a Group 1 winner last start. And Chow Wolf, who apparently isn't a weight for age star, according to some, which I think is a bit of a joke. But anyway, this race has it all.
Yes, it sure has. What a race. I'm really looking forward to seeing this over the 1,500 metres, as you said, for weight for age. I'm with Chow Wolf. I think he just maps to get the best run. He's 3rd up. Of course, he had that little mishap where he slipped over and he missed out on the Very Elegant, so he had to come back to the Canterbury Stakes over the 1,300, which is, I thought he was really brave there. He hit the line. Back up to the 1,500 here, where he's as a course and track, a track and distance winner. That was when he was just kicking off his campaign last time in, but he maps perfectly. I think we'll see Chow Wolf put his best foot forward and he'll be winning this.
Yeah, I like him too there. I'm also happy to see how Tom Kitten goes. He's drawn a little bit awkwardly too, but also I do love Fangirl. There is a bit of a fan crush on Fangirl.
Fangirl just needs absolutely everything to go her way. So she's like Goldilocks here. So as much as that could happen, and she's got the most lethal turn of foot in the race. And if they don't go that quickly, she'll certainly be making her mark, and she does have a good turn of foot. So, yeah, look, I'm not jumping off Fangirl. I absolutely adore her, but everything needs to be perfect for her.
Couldn't agree more. All right, let's get to the main event of the day, race 8 at Rosehill this Saturday. It is the Golden Slipper, of course, 1,200 metres for the 2-year-olds, richest 2-year-old race in the world. And each year we usually have a gun 2-year-old that's like, I am the man or the woman, that I am top of the tree. And this year we're like, I have no idea who's the best horse in this race. I've got no idea who's going to start favourite. Good luck, Katie.
Yeah, it's one of those races, isn't it? You could throw a blanket over them. I can nearly give every single one of these horses a chance to win the race. I think that's what makes it such a great race. And I'm going with Rivellino here, horse number 1. I think that he has done absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever in his career. Well, he's unbeaten. No, he doesn't win by big margins, but he's a workmanlike star colt. He's by too darn hot. He's drawn a better barrier than he ever has. He's got Hugh Bowman on board. He's the most experienced jockey when it comes to the Golden Slipper. I think he's had 20 rides over his career. And, of course, he won a couple of years ago on Fun, and he knows what it takes to win this race. And for his good friend Chris Lees, who said the horse absolutely has not gone backwards, I think it'll be a great story. Of course, Chris's old man Max won the race with Champion Luskin Star back in 1977. So, yeah, well, what a day it could be for the Lees family.
You have to think that if Rivanella was trained by someone who wasn't Chris Lees, who's obviously noted for his 3-year-olds and his fillies, that this horse would be in single figures near on favourite. He's unbeaten, and we don't know how good he is given he keeps on winning. So I don't mind that. I don't mind the filly down the bottom, Mahuna. I thought she was fantastic last start, up on the speed and only got run over late. I think she's going to improve because she was a month between runs there and she's drawn well with D-Lane in Barrier 6, but it's a great race.
Yeah, it sure is. As I said, you can make a case for all of them and not forgetting the filly Tempted. I think she's really gifted. She's drawn Barrier 1. So, yeah, it's going to be some race, especially with the speed. What do the jockeys do? Tactics. It's going to be great.
I'll ask about Wotan because he does have the winkers on. He's been the boom colt all the way through. With the winkers on, obviously draws perfectly this weekend, but they've said they may settle back. From Barrier 2, he could find himself third defence if he jumps well.
Yeah, well, if he jumps well with the winkers on, which is, look, they'll sharpen him up, no doubt. I don't think James McDonald will want to be too far away on him. Not to say that he's going to be forward, but he'll definitely make them work for it if they want to. But he's a really talented horse. No matter what he does in this race, he's going to be a really, really promising 3-year-old. He's got this big frame that he needs to fill out in. He's a beautiful horse. So, he's got a massive chance with the winkers on. If he puts his best foot forward, he'll definitely be thereabouts in the finish.
All right, let's get to the final event of our preview here on the Punters Preview today. It is the Galaxy 1100 metres, a handicap. Private Harry is your favourite after belting them in the sunlight up on the Sunshine Coast in January. He snuck in. He's had 2 trials. He's looking good. They say they go like Oakley Platers. Well, they are going to go like that in this race.
Yeah, they do. They tend to really fly along in this race. And my top pick here could be anything, Alex, and it's Briassa. It worries me about the barrier. It really does first up, but this horse has something pretty special. I think if Tyler Schiller can somewhat try and slot in somewhere, I know it's going to be really difficult for him, and try and find some cover, I think this horse will be fighting out the finish. I really do. And the world is his oyster, not taking anything away from Private Harry. He's unbeaten. He also could be anything. He's got 53 kilos on his back. His trial looked sensational. Yeah. Nathan Doyle was really, really happy with him. So, he's going to take some catching. It's just how quickly do they go? And they're not forgetting the big girl commemorative. Yes. If she can get a nice clear passage with 51 kilos on her back, she could be rattling home late.
She absolutely won't know herself with this weight. One who's been a little bit forgotten, Growing Empire, gets around to turn again for the first time since the Everest, where he ran third. I know he's got a big weight as a 3-year-old, but he's got to be a big chance.
Yeah, he is certainly a big chance. And if the race plays out, as you say, and they go really quickly, he could be just the one just parked behind them that we know what a lethal turn of foot that he has. He could steam over the top of them, and it does look like a beautiful sense of timing with him too. Third up, Kieran Ma is a quality colt.
I like it. All right, that is all 7 races previewed here on the Punters Preview this week. We're going to be back next week, Katie, in a treat for everyone, and the week after that for day 1 of the championships. But next weekend is the Australian Cup. Pride of Jenny is apparently turning up, and we've also got the Tancred and the Vinery Stud Stakes in Sydney. It's going to be another big weekend.
Yeah, it sure is. It's so exciting. We're mid into the autumn carnival, and we're loving every second of it.
We'll catch you next week on the Punters Preview.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.